There are scenes we watch and think, did that really air in a K-drama? Yep, today you're going to relive, or maybe discover, the kisses that pushed every boundary of what we expect from a Korean drama. Intense, unexpected kisses that stirred the internet, split opinions, and left everyone absolutely shocked. Get ready, because what you're about to see will send shivers down your spine from start to finish. When we talk about scenes that went too far, it's impossible to ignore the infamous kiss from Business Proposal, starring Kim Min-kyu and Seol In-ah, the second couple who completely stole the spotlight. In episode 7, when no one saw it coming, the duo delivered a kiss that literally broke the internet. The chemistry between them had already been simmering. Subtle glances, teasing moments, building tension, but it all exploded in that scene. The setup was simple, an intimate conversation, air thick with tension, eyes locked on each other, and then a move. Sung-hoon, played by Kim Min-kyu, slowly takes off his glasses, every movement dripping with intent, tosses them aside and kisses her. No words, just pure desire. That clip went insanely viral. Within days, it had racked up over 20 million views on Twitter alone. Fans from all over the world couldn't stop talking. Many said that the act of removing the glasses was sexier than explicit kisses in other shows. The sensuality wasn't in what was shown, it was in the details. The lingering eye contact, the pause before the kiss, the hand cradling her face, and of course, the kiss itself, which was anything but shy. And the craziest part? Kim Min-kyu revealed that the whole thing wasn't even scripted. It was improvised. He said the glasses were getting in the way during filming, so he decided to take them off, not knowing that moment would become one of the most iconic in K-drama history. Some fans called it the kiss of the century. Others said it was so bold it should have come with a 19+ rating. And there are even those who swear the chemistry between them felt more real than acting. So the question is, how did a secondary couple manage to create a scene that totally outshined the leads? And more importantly, why did so many people feel like it was too much for a drama? The answer is simple, because this scene broke the mold. It wasn't your typical sweet, innocent kiss with soft music in the background. It was raw, it was physical, it was real, and for many, it went beyond what you expect from a traditional K-drama. Should it have been censored? Maybe. But was it almost too daring? Oh yes, absolutely. Now, between biological warfare and horror, Gyeongseong creature still managed to deliver one of the most intense and talked about kisses in all of K-drama land. The moment between Jang Tae-sung, played by Park Seo-joon, and Yoon Chae-ok, played by Han So-hee, in episode 10, inside the rare item room of the pawn shop. A scene that broke down emotional walls, moved audiences, and sparked debate. And maybe, just maybe, a kiss that crossed the line. The scene begins with a heavy atmosphere. They've already been through hell, escapes, losses, physical and emotional pain. They barely have time to breathe, but when they finally find each other, it's like time stops. They're in the rare item room of the pawn shop having a raw, honest conversation. Chae-ok, completely shaken, asks Tae-sang to never forget her, and that's it. Nothing else is needed. He looks at her in that way. She stares back, and the kiss happens. It's intense, straightforward, with no hesitation. A long, deep kiss that felt more like real life than scripted drama. The detail? The whole scene was filmed in one single take. No cuts. Just the two of them. No one else around. Park Seo-joon even said in an interview that it was one of the most emotional scenes he's ever filmed. The director shared that he chose to shoot it from a distance, avoiding interference, letting the actors truly feel the moment. And it worked. When the scene aired, the internet exploded. Some said it was the best kiss of the year. On TikTok and Twitter, fan edits popped up nonstop. Of course, not everyone was on the same page. Some viewers claimed there was no chemistry, that it felt forced. But even with mixed opinions, the buzz lasted for weeks. The kiss didn't even feel like it belonged in a show about war and monsters. It felt like it was pulled straight out of a raw, intimate romance. And that's exactly why it hit so hard. The series had been packed with tension, blood, chases, and suddenly, it delivered this quiet, truthful moment of connection. A break in rhythm, but in the best way possible. Maybe the scene did go too far. Not because it was steamy, but because no one expected to be hit like that in the middle of such a dark storyline. And maybe that's exactly why it stood out. It caught everyone off guard, and left a whole lot of people hoping this couple finds each other again, in another universe, or maybe in a second season. And what if I told you one of the most intense kisses in K-drama history almost went too far, and still had that classic moment, with the heroine keeping her eyes wide open the entire time? I'm talking about the scene between Namju Hyuk and Shin Se-kyung in Bride of the Water God. And, oh, what starts off as a silly little conversation about absolutely nothing ends in one of the steamiest moments of both their careers. They arrive home exchanging those light, random lines, the kind of easy banter we expect in a rom-com. But then, as she starts going up the stairs, totally distracted, expecting nothing, he suddenly grabs her arm. No warning, no hesitation. And in that exact second, the entire mood shifts. everything turns 180 degrees. He pulls her in for a kiss that's so intense, you almost feel awkward just watching. And her eyes are wide open. That classic look of, what is happening right now, mixed with, should I kiss him back? It's pure old school K-drama energy. And as if that wasn't enough, she has to brace herself against the wall just to stay upright. Literally. The kiss is so overwhelming, she loses her balance. And that's when things really start to heat up. They keep kissing and head up the stairs together, like the world stopped, like nothing else matters. The tension builds, the camera follows every move, and it doesn't feel staged at all. It doesn't feel like TV. And just when you think it's about to end, it doesn't. He sits her down on the couch and keeps kissing her. That's when it hits you. Wait, this is going way too far for a K-drama. And it's exactly when he seems to realize it too. Out of nowhere, he pulls back, stops everything, looks at her with a mix of guilt and confusion. And she, completely lost, asks, "What are you doing?" That question hits like a slap, not just for him, but for everyone watching, thinking the scene was about to turn into something else. And that's when we're reminded, we're watching a Korean drama, not a Western show. This scene still sparks debate to this day. Some say it was bold, intense, and necessary to show the repressed desire between the characters. But others feel it went too far, especially given the visible discomfort of the female character throughout much of the sequence. One thing's for sure, it was hot, it was controversial, and it became one of the most talked about scenes in the K-drama universe. Do you agree that this kiss nearly deserved a censorship warning? If you still think K-dramas are all soft, filled with shy kisses and cameras that conveniently cut away before things get steamy, then you clearly weren't ready for Eve. Because what happens between Seo Ye-ji and Park Byung-yoon's character goes far beyond what we're used to seeing on screen. It's the kind of scene that makes you glance sideways to check if someone's watching with you. Yes, that kind of scene. It all begins almost poetically. The two are sitting in what resembles a hot spring tub, in a dark, intimate, silent space. There's no rush. The kiss doesn't come suddenly. There's no surprise moment like in typical dramas. Quite the opposite. It all unfolds in slow motion, as if they want to savor every second. The tension isn't innocent. It's loaded with desire, unspoken intentions, and chemistry that practically bursts out of the screen. And then, out of nowhere, the scene cuts. What follows is what led many to say, this is not a K-drama. They're now lying in bed, holding hands, bodies close, and the kiss is something rarely seen in Korean dramas. It feels more like one of those mature Korean films, where sensuality isn't implied, it's shown. No cuts, no modesty. The man appears shirtless, lying back, her hands wrapped around his body, and she remains that cold, mysterious figure, yet impossibly magnetic. It's as if even in that moment of surrender, she's still the one in control, and that's what makes the scene even more intense. It's not just about desire, it's about power, manipulation, and emotional dominance. The camera doesn't pretend it's not there. It shows, it reveals, it forces you to watch. And when they stop, still in bed, and stare at each other, her with that villainous, unreadable gaze like everything played out exactly as she planned, what started as a steamy scene turns into a psychological power play. You don't know if it was love, revenge, or pure strategy. And that's exactly why this kiss easily lands on the list of scenes that probably should have been censored. Not just because it was intense, but because it shattered the unspoken rules. It was more cinema than drama, more provocation than romance. And more than anything, it was Seo Ye-ji at the height of her chaotic energy, making us both love and fear her character at the same time. So what do you think? Was that scene too much? Or was it exactly what the story demanded? Now let's talk about the most classic, legendary K-drama kiss scene of all time. The moment between Park Seo-joon and Park Min-young that proved just how electrifying a K-drama kiss can be. We're talking about that iconic sequence from episode 13 of What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, the one that has surpassed 200 million views on YouTube. Yes, you read that right. This kiss became a true icon. The scene starts off pretty normally. They arrive home, no real tension in the air, just the deep connection built over 9 years of working together. Then, out of nowhere, Vice President Lee Young-joon suddenly pushes her against the wall, with strength and intention, and dives into a passionate kiss. His assertive posture, holding her from behind, sends an almost animalistic urgency, and she, stunned and caught off guard, reflects it all in her eyes, shocked and utterly captivated. But what truly stands out is how smoothly the scene evolves. There are no jarring cuts. After intensifying the kiss, he gently guides her toward the sofa, where the kiss continues, deeper, more connected. You feel every touch. His hand loosens his jacket, hers slides around his neck, and the camera doesn't shy away. It captures their closeness, their desire, the unspoken electricity between them. It's not just romance, it's raw, it's intense, it's got just the right touch of possessiveness. And that combination set the fandom on fire. The impact was immediate. According to Soompi, the scene went viral all over again during the pandemic, and by September 2020, 2020, it had already surpassed 200 million views. It proved that this drama has the soul of cinema, a rom-com with a shot of adrenaline, and I made a point of bringing you to June 2025. Because yes, this kiss is still a total reference in the K-drama world. Director Park Joon-hwa used light and sound strategically. No music before the kiss, just silence, which amplified the tension. Every breath, every sigh, made your heart race. Some people criticize it for breaking her emotional balance. A few Reddit users even said the kiss felt immature, and that she seemed to give in more out of politeness than desire. But if you ask me, that's exactly what gives the scene its flavor. The tension between dominance and surrender, until that one moment where she gives in, and a simple gesture turns into full-blown emotional release. In the end, this classic kiss has everything we love in a good K-drama moment. The surprise, the electric atmosphere, the closeness, the undeniable chemistry, and that emotional twist that leaves you wondering, did she really want that? That's why, with over 200 million views, it didn't just stay in episode 13, it carved its place in the memory of every true K-drama fan. Wouldn't you call it a classic? Now tell me, which of these kisses do you think really crossed the line? Or better yet, which one stuck in your mind long after you watched it? Drop your answer in the comments because I'm reading everything. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell, because here, we talk about K-dramas the way you like it, with emotion, with opinions, and no sugarcoating. See you in the next video.